We often hear the phrase, like father, like son, but does the same hold true for daughters and their mothers? When the mother happens to be one of Hollywood's most stunning, charismatic, and talented black actresses, what does that mean for her daughter? Some inherit their mother's grace effortlessly, others carve out their own paths and even surpass them in talent, and a few captivate the internet before they've even started school. From beauty and fame to jaw-dropping untold stories, here are 30 daughters of iconic black women who will leave you speechless. You won't want to miss this. Tracee Ellis Ross breaking free from a legendary shadow and her explosive breakthrough at 47. Diana Ross, a timeless music icon, the queen of soul, and a name that has defined an era. But being the daughter of a legend isn't always a blessing. For nearly 50 years, Tracee Ellis Ross, the multi-talented daughter of Diana Ross, lived under the immense shadow of her mother. What most people didn't know was that this burden weighed so heavily on her that she never dared to sing, not even once. Tracee had a beautiful voice, but the fear of comparison to her untouchable mother kept her silent. Hollywood knew her as an acclaimed actress, a fashion icon, and a successful producer and director. But a singer? Never. She rejected every opportunity, avoided microphones as if they were a curse, and refused to let the world hear her voice. The fear of being reduced to just a lesser version of Diana Ross haunted her for a decade. But in 2019, fate gave her no choice. She was cast in The High Note, a film where her character was a pop diva, meaning she had to sing. The fear crept back in. She even considered walking away from the role. But this time, something changed. Instead of running, she confronted her lifelong nightmare. For the first time ever, Tracee Ellis Ross stepped into a recording studio and recorded Love Myself, a powerful, emotional ballad. Then, the unimaginable happened. When the song was released in May 2020, it charted on Billboard, and the music video racked up millions of views on YouTube. But the most profound moment came when Diana Ross herself called Tracee in tears, overwhelmed with pride. After nearly 5 decades of self-doubt, Tracee Ellis Ross finally broke free from her mother's shadow and proved to the world and to herself that she was more than just Diana Ross's daughter. She was an artist in her own right. Willow Smith, the tragedy behind her fame and the bold act that changed everything. Jada Pinkett Smith, actress, singer, producer, and one of Hollywood's most influential women. She built a career starring in The Matrix and set it off, but her most challenging role was being a mother. She had to watch her daughter, Willow Smith, struggle under the crushing weight of fame. To the world, Willow was a child star who dominated the music industry with Whip My Hair. But behind the success was a painful reality no one saw coming. In 2010, at just 9 years old, Willow became a global sensation. Her debut single soared up the Billboard Hot 100, her music video racked up over 100 million views, and her record deal with Jay-Z made her an overnight star. Touring with Justin Bieber, she earned millions within months. The world celebrated her rise, but behind the scenes, Willow was overwhelmed. By age 10, she was caught in the relentless cycle of the music industry, recording, promoting, and touring with no time to rest. She wanted to stop. No one listened. Then, in 2012, desperate for a way out, Willow took matters into her own hands. She shaved her head bald in the middle of her tour. Her reason? If I don't have hair, they can't make me sing Whip My Hair anymore. Her father, Will Smith, was shocked. He had believed he was giving her the perfect life, but instead, he had pushed her into a world she wasn't ready for. In later interviews, Willow admitted she had struggled with deep emotional pain, questioning the meaning of her own existence. That moment changed everything. Will Smith realized his mistake. Willow stepped away from music for years to heal. But when she returned, she did so on her own terms. Reinventing herself as an alternative rock artist, she shattered expectations. Her album Lately, I Feel Everything, landed in the top 5 of Billboard's Rock Albums chart, and Meet Me at Our Spot amassed over 500 million streams. Willow Smith had reclaimed her identity not as Will Smith's daughter or the Whip My Hair girl, but as an artist in her own right. Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina Brown, a tragic legacy that shook the world. Whitney Houston, one of the greatest voices in music history, the queen behind legendary hits like I Will Always Love You and Greatest Love of All. She was more than just a singer, she was a phenomenon. But beneath the glamour, her life was marked by struggles, addiction, and heartbreak. And in the most tragic twist of fate, her only daughter, Bobbi Kristina Brown, would follow the same devastating path. From the moment she was born, Bobbi Kristina's life was far from normal. She grew up witnessing the dark side of fame, her parents' battles with addiction, their toxic fights, and a home filled with chaos. By the age of 14, she had already experimented with drugs. And then, at just 18, her world shattered. Her mother, Whitney Houston, was found lifeless in a bathtub, the victim of a cocaine overdose. Bobbi Kristina was never the same. Lost in grief, she found solace in Nick Gordon, a man Whitney had raised like a son. Their controversial relationship sparked outrage, but she didn't care. What followed was a toxic spiral: parties, addiction, abuse. And then, the unthinkable happened. On January 31, 2015, Bobbi Kristina was discovered unconscious in a bathtub, her body cold, her skin turning blue. She slipped into a coma and never woke up. 6 months later, at just 22 years old, she was gone. The eerie parallel to her mother's death sent shockwaves through the world. But the tragedy didn't end there. Bobbi Kristina's family blamed Nick Gordon, accusing him of being responsible for her death. A lawsuit followed, and he was ordered to pay $36 million. Then, in a chilling twist, Nick Gordon himself died a few years later from a drug overdose. 3 lives, 3 tragic deaths, one haunting cycle. Was it fate? A curse? Or the inescapable darkness that often lurks behind fame? Nico Parker breaking free from Thandai Newton's shadow and redefining Hollywood. Thandai Newton, a powerhouse in Hollywood, known for her unforgettable roles in Westworld, Mission, Impossible 2, and countless other hit films. With her striking beauty, fearless performances, and outspoken activism, she has long been a symbol of strength and resilience in the industry. But while the world admires Thandai, few realize the immense pressure her daughter, Nico Parker, has faced growing up in her mother's spotlight. Nico Parker was born in 2004, inheriting not just her mother's striking features, warm caramel skin, signature curls, and piercing eyes, but also the burden of endless comparisons. From a young age, she was labeled of mini Thandai, a perfect copy. But Nico refused to be just an extension of her mother. She wanted to carve her own identity, and she chose one of the toughest paths to do it: acting. At just 14, she made her debut in Disney's Dumbo 2019, delivering a performance far beyond her years. Critics took notice, calling her a rising star, but Nico wasn't satisfied. She pushed herself further in The Third Day and Reminiscence, proving that she wasn't just a child of privilege, she was an artist. Then came The Last of Us 2023. Though she only appeared in a single episode as Sarah Miller, Nico's performance was so moving that it left audiences in tears. In just one role, she shattered the Nepo baby stereotype, the belief that celebrity children succeed only because of their famous parents. Hollywood has seen many star kids struggle to step out of their parents' shadows. But Nico Parker is rewriting that narrative. She isn't just following in her mother's footsteps, she's forging her own path. With upcoming projects like Suncoast 2024 and the live-action How to Train Your Dragon 2025, Nico is steadily proving she is here to stay. Blue Ivy Carter, from a target of hate to a rising power that Hollywood can't ignore. Beyoncé, one of the greatest artists of all time, a powerhouse vocalist, an unmatched performer, and an icon of female empowerment. Her name defines an era of music. But despite being the daughter of a global superstar, Blue Ivy Carter's journey has been far from easy. From the moment she was born, she became the subject of ruthless scrutiny, conspiracy theories, and relentless public criticism. It all started when Beyoncé announced her pregnancy at the 2011 MTV VMAs, a moment that made history. But almost immediately, rumors spread like wildfire. A viral video of her sitting down, with her baby bump seemingly folding, ignited a bizarre conspiracy theory. Was Beyoncé ever really pregnant? The internet exploded with accusations that Blue Ivy was a test tube baby, and the Illuminati rumors only made things worse. And it didn't stop there. As Blue Ivy grew, the internet's cruelty only intensified. In 2014, at just 2 years old, she became the subject of a Change.org petition titled "Beyoncé, Please Comb Your Daughter's Hair." Thousands of people signed it, mocking a toddler for embracing her natural curls. While most celebrity children are celebrated, Blue Ivy was bullied, her looks, her hair, and even her existence questioned. But what no one saw coming was her comeback. Instead of being crushed by the criticism, Blue Ivy did what no one expected. She rose above it. At just 9 years old, she made history, becoming the youngest Grammy winner ever for brown-skinned girl. At 7, she had already appeared on the Billboard Hot 100. At 8, she won a BET Her Award. And by 12, she was performing alongside Beyoncé on the Renaissance Tour, dominating the stage with a confidence that left audiences speechless. Blue Ivy Carter is no longer just Beyoncé's daughter. She is an artist, an icon in the making. She turned hate into history, silence into strength. And now, the entire music industry is watching, knowing one thing for sure: this is just the beginning. Zoe Kravitz, from heartbreaking rejection to the ultimate revenge as Catwoman. Lisa Bonet, Hollywood's free spirit, a trailblazing actress from The Cosby Show, and a symbol of beauty and rebellion. She broke barriers, challenged norms, and paved the way for a new generation of artists. And when her daughter, Zoe Kravitz, entered the industry, the world expected her to follow in those fearless footsteps. But talent, beauty, and a famous last name weren't enough to shield Zoe from one of Hollywood's ugliest rejections. In 2012, Christopher Nolan was preparing to release The Dark Knight Rises, the final chapter of his Batman trilogy. Every young actor in Hollywood wanted a role, and Zoe Kravitz was no exception. When she learned they were casting for Catwoman, she jumped at the chance only to be rejected immediately. The reason? She was told she was too urban. A thinly veiled way of saying she didn't fit their vision because of her race. Zoe was stunned. She had grown up believing Hollywood would embrace her, yet here she was shut out, not because of her skills, but because of outdated industry biases. But instead of letting it break her, she turned the rejection into motivation. She built her career step by step, taking on roles in Mad Max, Fury Road, Big Little Lies, and High Fidelity.
Okay.
And then, in 2022, Hollywood came full circle. Zoe Kravitz was cast as Catwoman in The Batman, not just as a supporting role, but as one of the film's most iconic and mesmerizing characters. This time, no one could deny her talent. She wasn't just playing Catwoman, she became Catwoman. With her sharp wit, dangerous charm, and undeniable chemistry with Robert Pattinson's Batman, Zoe didn't just prove she belonged, she stole the show. Hollywood once told her no, but a decade later, she got the ultimate revenge. She wasn't just accepted, she owned the role that once rejected her. Condola Rashad, the genius who left Broadway in awe. Felicia Rashad, an icon of television and theater, the first black actress to win a Tony Award for Best Actress and a trailblazer for generations to come. But her daughter, Condola Rashad, is not just continuing her legacy, she is redefining it with a genius-level memory and jaw-dropping improvisation skills that have stunned Broadway audiences. In September 2013, Condola Rashad was performing as Juliet in Romeo and Juliet on Broadway. Everything was going perfectly until disaster struck. Orlando Bloom, playing Romeo, forgot his lines in the middle of a crucial scene. The entire theater held its breath. A pause like this could ruin the entire performance. But then, Condola did something unbelievable. Without missing a beat, she subtly fed him his lines, disguising it as an emotionally charged exchange. The audience never realized a mistake had even happened. Broadway insiders were left in shock. How did she manage that? A source later revealed that Condola had memorized over 3,000 lines from Romeo and Juliet, including those of other characters. She could even recite entire monologues backward without missing a single word. After that night, she earned the nickname Broadway's Human Encyclopedia. But her brilliance didn't stop there. In 2017, while performing as Blanche DuBois in a streetcar named Desire, her co-star suffered a dislocated shoulder on stage, a moment that should have halted the play. Instead, Condola improvised a 12-minute solo monologue on the spot, seamlessly keeping the scene alive while discreetly allowing medical staff to intervene. She's not just Felicia Rashad's daughter. Condola Rashad is a once-in-a-generation theatrical genius. A woman who doesn't just perform on Broadway, she dominates it. Viola Davis, Genesis Tenon, and the strangest casting story in Hollywood. Viola Davis, a Hollywood legend, one of the rare EGOT winners, and a powerhouse in the entertainment industry. But few know that her adopted daughter, Genesis Tenon, had an unbelievable entry into Hollywood without even auditioning. In 2019, at just 7 years old, Genesis landed a voice role in the Angry Birds movie 2 purely by accident. During a conversation between Viola and director Thurb Van Orman, Genesis, who was simply playing nearby, suddenly jumped in, mimicking animated voices with stunning accuracy. The entire production team was stunned. Right then and there, the director asked her to read a few lines. Within minutes, she secured the role of Vivi the mischievous baby bird without ever attending a formal audition. When the film premiered, Genesis found herself sharing credits with Hollywood A-listers like Jason Sudeikis, Josh Gad, Bill Hader, and even Nicki Minaj. Viola Davis couldn't hide her pride, calling it an unexpectedly outstanding debut. And with such a spectacular start, Genesis Tenon might not just be Viola Davis's daughter. For long, she could be Hollywood's next rising star. Halle Berry, Nala Aubrey, and the custody battle that shook Hollywood. Halle Berry, an Oscar-winning legend, a Hollywood powerhouse, but behind the glamour, her personal life has been far from peaceful. Her daughter, Nala Aubrey, became the center of one of the most brutal custody battles in Hollywood history. After Halle split from model Gabrielle Aubrey in 2011, their custody fight exploded into chaos. Halle wanted to move Nala to France with her fiancé, Olivier Martinez, to escape the relentless paparazzi. Gabrielle fought back hard, accusing her of trying to take their daughter away. Then came the Thanksgiving Day brawl of 2012, a moment that shook Hollywood. When Gabrielle arrived to pick up Nala, he clashed with Olivier. Words turned into punches, and within minutes, Gabrielle was on the ground with a broken rib, head injuries, and a bruised face. Shocking images of his swollen face and Nala's terrified expression flooded the media. But in a stunning twist, Halle didn't win full custody. The court ruled that Gabrielle would maintain visitation rights, and even more shocking, Halle was ordered to pay him $16,000 a month in child support, totaling nearly $200,000 a year until Nala turned 19. A Hollywood A-lister paying child support to her ex? Unheard of. Today, Nala has grown up, loved by both parents. But the custody war, the lawsuit, the fistfight, and the millions exchanged remain one of Hollywood's most scandalous legal battles. Vanessa Williams, Jillian Hervey, and the reinvention of a beauty queen's daughter. Vanessa Williams made history as Miss America's first black queen, but her daughter, Jillian Hervey, refused to ride on her fame. Instead of embracing Hollywood, Jillian pursued dance at Sarah Lawrence College. But fate intervened. In 2012, she formed Lion Babe with Lucas Goodman. A friend's advice, "Let your hair go wild," sparked her signature look, a fierce afro. Her debut video, "Treat Me Like Fire," went viral, drawing comparisons to Erykah Badu and Diana Ross. Jillian kept her music career a secret from Vanessa, who only discovered it when Jillian's name blew up online. Her reason: "I didn't want my mom to think I was singing just because of her." Now, Jillian is more than a musician, she's a beauty icon, landing deals with Pantene and MAC. Once a daughter rejecting fame, she has now redefined it on her own terms. Nina Simone, Lisa Simone Kelly, and the burden of genius. Nina Simone was a legend and activist, a voice that shook the world. But to her daughter, Lisa Simone Kelly, she was a volatile, abusive mother who turned home into a battlefield. Struggling with bipolar disorder, Nina unleashed violent outbursts, throwing objects, slapping Lisa into walls, even threatening her with a knife. Music wasn't a refuge, but a torment, with endless practice met only with punishment. By 14, Lisa was drowning in depression. At 20, she escaped, joining the U.S. Air Force to sever ties with the past. After Nina's death in 2003, Lisa finally spoke out, honoring her mother's genius but refusing to hide the pain. Unlike Nina, she pursued music on her own terms and, most importantly, ended the cycle of violence. Whoopi Goldberg, Alex Martin, and the stunning fall and rise of a Hollywood heiress. Whoopi Goldberg, an EGOT-winning legend, a Hollywood powerhouse. But behind the fame, her only daughter, Alex Martin, lived through a shocking rise and fall, from growing up in wealth to losing everything by 30. Born into struggle, Alex witnessed her mother's hardships before Whoopi became a superstar. But once fame and fortune arrived, Alex spiraled: lavish parties, reckless spending, no limits. Then, reality hit hard. By 30, she was broke, forced to move into a tiny apartment with her kids. The most shocking part? Whoopi, worth tens of millions, refused to bail her out. Instead, she told Alex, "Figure it out." And she did. That tough love became her turning point. Alex rebuilt herself, reinvented her career, and climbed back to millionaire status. From riches to rags and back again, her story remains one of Hollywood's most stunning reversals of fortune. Cicely Tyson, Joan Tyson, and the 70-year-old secret revealed. Cicely Tyson, the legendary actress who reshaped American cinema with her iconic roles, kept a secret for over 70 years, one that remained unknown until the final days of her life: the existence of her only daughter, Joan Tyson. Joan was born in 1943 and raised entirely separate from the glamorous world of her mother. No photos, no public records. Joan seemed as if she never existed. It wasn't until January 2021, when Cicely Tyson published her memoir just 2 days before her passing, that the truth was finally revealed. Even so, Joan's current identity remains a mystery, making her one of the most enigmatic figures in Hollywood history. Niecy Nash, Dia Nash, and turning pain into purpose. Niecy Nash, the talented actress and beloved Hollywood personality, carries a past shaped by unimaginable tragedy. In February 1993, her younger brother, Michael Inslee, was murdered at his high school, a loss that haunted her for years. However, instead of succumbing to grief, Niecy channeled her pain into acting, using laughter as a shield against sorrow. 6 years later, in 1999, Dia Nash was born, becoming a beacon of light in her mother's life. Growing up, Dia deeply understood her family's history, which inspired her to pursue a career not just out of passion but as a way to tell meaningful stories. In 2022, Dia Nash had a breakthrough moment, starring in the hit Netflix series Dahmer Monster: The Jeffrey Dahmer Story. Her role was deeply intertwined with themes of loss and violence, paralleling her own family's painful past. Cheryl Lee Ralph, Ivy Coco, and the fashion shockwave. Hollywood veteran Cheryl Lee Ralph has long been a powerhouse in entertainment, but few expected her daughter, Ivy Coco, to create a seismic shift in the fashion world at the 2023 Golden Globe Awards. Ivy is more than just a stylist; she is a cultural strategist determined to challenge outdated norms and uplift Black talent. Before the event, major fashion houses refused to dress her mother. But instead of backing down, Ivy turned rejection into motivation. She collaborated with Black designer Alliot to craft an unforgettable ensemble for Cheryl Lee Ralph. The result? Her mother was named one of the best-dressed stars of the night by Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and Elle. Ivy Coco proved that she's not just setting trends, she's redefining them. Lynn Whitfield, Grace Gibson, and the quest for her own path. Lynn Whitfield is a Hollywood legend, but her daughter, Grace Gibson, refuses to live in her mother's shadow. She chose an entirely different path, one that defies expectations. In 2017, Grace made it clear that she wouldn't rely on her family's fame to build her career. What sets her apart is her unique fusion of rock music with deep-rooted Black cultural influences, a style she calls rock noir. In 2018, during a performance in New Orleans, she embraced the legacy of forgotten Black female rockers, delivering an original song about the struggle between her Hollywood bloodline and real-life identity. The performance was electrifying, leaving audiences wondering if she was confronting her own past through music. Debbie Allen, Vivian Nixon, and the career-ending Close Call. Debbie Allen, the iconic actress, director, and choreographer, revolutionized the entertainment industry. But for her daughter, Vivian Nixon, the road to success was anything but easy. A devastating accident nearly ended it all. In 2007, while at the peak of her career starring in the Broadway musical Hot Feet, Vivian suffered a severe knee injury. Doctors warned she might never dance again. For a dancer, this was nothing short of a death sentence. But with her mother's unwavering support, Vivian persevered through grueling rehabilitation and made a triumphant comeback. Not only did she return to dance, but she also ventured into television, landing roles in Grey's Anatomy and inspiring the next generation of artists at the Debbie Allen Dance Academy. Takina Arnold, Elijah Kai Haggins, and the Viral Showdown. Takina Arnold, known for her powerful voice and acting talent, has a daughter who is proving to be just as gifted, if not more. In 2019, at a charity event in Los Angeles, 15-year-old Elijah Kai took the stage to sing. What happened next took everyone by surprise. Out of nowhere, Takina Arnold joined her daughter for an impromptu vocal showdown. The two engaged in an electrifying back and forth, pushing each other to hit higher and more intricate notes. The performance was so breathtaking that it instantly went viral, with fans declaring that Elijah Kai wasn't just the daughter of a star, she was a star in her own right. Tamara Mowry, Area Toya Housley, the 2-year-old princess who had the whole family wrapped around her finger. Tamara Mowry, the beloved actress from Sister, and former co-host of The Real, cherishes her role as a devoted mother. At the heart of her world is her daughter, Area Toya Housley, a bundle of energy and charm who has captivated everyone around her. Born in 2015, Area not only inherited her mother's striking features, but also her determined and lively spirit. By the time she was just 2 years old, Area had already developed a strong sense of personal style. When Tamara decided to redecorate her little girl's bedroom in 2017, Area had one clear request: everything had to be pink. From the bed to the rug and even the chairs, she had a vision, and nothing could deter her. Her strong-willed nature had everyone smiling, leading many to wonder if she was destined to become a fashion icon in the making. Keisha Knight Pulliam, Ella Grace, a baby caught in the middle of a public divorce. Keisha Knight Pulliam, best known for her role as Rudy Huxtable on The Cosby Show, seemed to have it all: fame, fortune, and what appeared to be a happy family. However, her personal life took a shocking turn when her marriage to former NFL player Edgerton Hartwell unraveled, leaving their newborn daughter, Ella Grace, at the center of a heartbreaking legal battle. Born in 2017, Ella's arrival should have been a joyful occasion. Instead, her father immediately cast doubt on her paternity, demanding a DNA test while simultaneously filing for divorce. When the results confirmed that Ella was indeed his biological daughter, the legal disputes continued, with both parents fighting for custody. Despite the turmoil, Keisha remained steadfast, channeling her strength into motherhood and shielding her daughter from the chaos of public scrutiny. Even before she could speak, Ella had already experienced both the highs and lows of fame. Gina Torres, Delilah Fishburne, Hollywood's most mysterious celebrity child. Gina Torres, renowned for her roles in Suits and Firefly, shares a daughter, Delilah Fishburne, with legendary actor Lawrence Fishburne. However, unlike most celebrity offspring, Delilah has remained completely off the radar, making her one of Hollywood's most enigmatic. Zulika Haywood, a journey from extreme dieting to self-acceptance. As the daughter of supermodel Iman and NBA star Spencer Haywood, Zulika Haywood grew up under immense pressure to live up to her parents' legacies. However, instead of reveling in her mother's world of high fashion, she faced a grueling battle with her weight from a young age. By the time she was 8, Zulika was already on restrictive diets, subjected to extreme weight loss measures, including diet pills and strict meal plans like the infamous cabbage soup diet. Despite all efforts, her weight continued to climb, reaching 300 pounds in adulthood. In 2008, she made a life-changing decision, undergoing gastric bypass surgery. The transformation was dramatic, not just physically but emotionally as well. She emerged as a confident businesswoman, carving out a successful career at major companies like Iman Cosmetics, Walmart, and J. Manuel Beauty. Zulika's journey proved that beauty isn't just about weight, it's about self-acceptance and taking control of one's own narrative. Kimberly Elise Ava Elise, a daughter raised away from Hollywood's glare. Kimberly Elise, known for her emotional depth in films like Set It Off and Diary of a Mad Black Woman, took a different approach to raising her daughter, Ava Elise. While many celebrity children grow up in the public eye, Ava was raised in complete privacy. Born in 1996, Ava chose a path far from Hollywood, building a career in business and marketing strategy. Despite her mother's fame, she has remained virtually invisible in the media, with no red carpet appearances or flashy social media presence. Even during significant milestones in Kimberly's life, Ava has rarely stepped into the public eye. However, those who know her describe her as highly intelligent, ambitious, and academically gifted. Though she has avoided the limelight, Ava's quiet success speaks volumes about the values her mother instilled in her. Gabrielle Union Kavia James Wade, the internet's favorite shady baby. Gabrielle Union, celebrated for her roles in Bring It On and Being Mary Jane, is also the proud mother of a social media sensation, Kavia James Wade. Unlike most celebrity toddlers, Kavia has gained fame not just because of her parents, but because of her own hilariously expressive personality. Dubbed the Shady Baby for her signature side eyes and unimpressed expressions, Kavia's viral moments have taken the internet by storm. Her comedic timing is impeccable, with millions of fans including celebrities like Beyoncé amused by her old soul demeanor. In 2021, she and her mother even co-authored a best-selling children's book, Shady Baby, inspired by Kavia's internet persona. With over 2 million Instagram followers before even entering kindergarten, the world is watching to see what this little powerhouse does next. Beverly Johnson and Ansa Sims, the plus-size model who redefined beauty standards. Beverly Johnson, a trailblazer who became the first black woman to grace the cover of Vogue in 1974, raised a daughter who refused to conform to the fashion industry's outdated norms. Ansa Sims inherited her mother's beauty and confidence but faced constant rejection from designers who deemed her too curvy for traditional modeling. Determined to break barriers, Ansa signed with Wilhelmina Models in 2004, proving that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. While her professional career flourished, her personal life was turbulent, particularly her roller coaster romance with former NBA player Matt Barnes. Their on-again, off-again relationship made headlines for years, but against all odds, they found their way back to each other. Today, Ansa is not just a model, she's a vocal advocate for body positivity, reshaping the industry and inspiring countless women to embrace their natural beauty. And there you have it, the most captivating and talented daughters of Hollywood's legendary black actresses. Which one stood out to you the most? Did any of their stories completely surprise you? Share your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the next big Hollywood reveal. There's still so much more to uncover.